Hi, this is BB, and I was kind of thinking just now because having a problem logging into my bank. I tried several times, and they kept giving me, I couldn't log in. I tried calling, and they're not recognizing my phone number either. So what I did was, I waited, and then I guess they're having a glitch. Maybe they weren't aware of it, but now they are because they're actually um, having a recording when you call telling you that some of them, not everybody, is experiencing some problems. But anyway, this woman, of course, is right now. My chest is like my lungs are on fire. They're burning, like this hot, flushed feeling. Whatever is being sprayed, I don't know. The cat looks up constantly at the roof because she, of course, their hearing is like a million times more sensitive than ours, and she can hear. So if they have something like a defogger or a timer with a spray, she can hear it, and she looks up. It leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and my lungs feel like it's on like a hot, flushed feeling. I think the only thing left for them to do is probably spray me with cyanide gas. I don't know. I don't know where they got that or where they'll get it from, because seeing the direction that these people are going in, they don't really care. They've lost all sense of humanity if they ever had any. They have lost all sense of humanity if they ever had any, which I doubt. Now, two things. But the first one is what I'm thinking is, imagine the day before these people became aware of this. The day before they became aware, or the day after they became aware of what people are doing out there, torturing people, tormenting people, and they're making money at it. Somehow they're making money, right? Because I need for people to understand something in some cases. I'm not saying all. There is a reason why these people are following us and speaking to us. Like, I think there's technology, so they're using a frequency maybe that's only we can hear. Just like a dog. You blow a dog whistle, you can't hear a thing, but the dog comes running. Because the sound is at a frequency where we can't pick up, but the dog can. So it's the same thing. They can be emitting sounds at a frequency only we can hear. Maybe it varies from person to person. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. They can be, because I don't think it's a psychic energy. I think it's technology. And this is the reason why they have to have people around me listening to my responses. And they probably have to be within a close proximity to do this as well. So when you say government agency, most of us have done nothing wrong. Some of us may have had petty crimes behind us or whatever, but they are actually pushing us to do these things. They're pushing us they're tormenting us basically on purpose. So even if you're coming from a government agency, that's your government agency is behind this. First, the government agency have to be paying them to torment us. Why would they do that? Is the government agency going to be funded by a bigger government agency? How does this work? And why us? Why me? Why you? What criteria they use to choose us? I have never had even a parking ticket. I live a very, very secluded, simple life. When I say simple, I'm like the most boring person you've ever heard of. Why me? Why me? Why you? There's nothing on me. This is why they have to keep fucking with me, spraying me, spritzing me. There's probably nothing wrong with you either. They have to keep following you. Now, some of you are being targeted probably in your hometown by, for different reasons. But that doesn't mean that you're not being targeted, or your targeted is the effects of your targeting is different from mine, or mine is different from yours. Yours is not minimized. Targeting in any shape, way, or form is still targeting. Whether the targeting is coming from a government agency, or targeting is coming from people like you and me, which is most of the time, because the government agencies are made up of what? Not robots, people like you and me. But what I'm saying, there are people out there who knows this, and they will use this white umbrella of targeting to hide behind, and everybody is blaming the like, for example, think of you there's this you want some piece of electronic in the electronic store, and thieves have been hitting all the electronic stores down the street, right? And you watch it in the window, and and you feel so inclined, you know what, this be so easy, just take a rock, break the window, grab it, and who they'll blame? Are they going to blame you, or are they going to blame those people? It's a perfect example. It's a perfect example. Of course, they're going to blame the other people who are hitting up the other electronic stores. Or the bank robbery, anything. They're coming in with masks, they're robbing, and they're getting away, right? There's a bank that's has a security guard in his 80s, you do the same thing. You just look at whatever footage they're showing. You get the person, the body size is looking similar. You go in there, snatch and grab, and you're gone. Who they're gonna blame? Are they gonna look for a fresh set of robbers, or are they gonna look for the people who've been robbing the other banks? Most likely, they're gonna look for them. They're gonna stop short. They're not gonna look for anything else. You have a bank teller now that's telling them, who's seen the footage of the other banks and seen these people there, and they tell them, no, it's something, it doesn't look like the same person. They're not going to believe that person. They're going to say that person read too many detective novels, watched too many Law and Order episodes and Criminal Minds. They don't know what they're talking about. They stop short. They're not going to look for anybody else. They're looking for those people. It's the same thing. People do things and they get lost in the shuffle. The reason why people like you and me would do this to people like you and me is for the very reason that nobody takes them seriously. All these people who are being targeted, there's only maybe, I don't know if it's 5% who actually have gotten any justice, if that much. You see how easy it is for them to hide under this umbrella. And people are hacking. 10-year-olds are hacking. They're hacking. There's people on YouTube, if you type in kids hacking, and they're proud of it, and they're showing you. They're hacking. To them, it's a skill set. If they can hack, why can't other people hack? What I'm trying to say is that people need to loosen up a little. Be a little bit more... If you stop being so tight, such a tight individual that you can't be flexible to see or look at this objectively, it's gonna hurt in the end. Because a lot of us, I would say, I don't know what's the percentage, but many of us are not being targeted by government agencies, but by people who want us to believe that, and they want people to convince us that it's that. But they're being targeted by people like you and me for stuff that we have. Or they've maybe been exploiting us for a long time, and the shit's about to hit the fan. And, there's something. I don't know. But I thought to myself, the people who are doing this, that they became aware of this, right? When they started doing this first, like say the first day a trial run to see, using this technology or whatever to fuck with people, did they have any remorse? Did they feel any shame? Did they feel any guilt? Did they feel any type of ugliness? Did they have second thoughts? Did they question their motives? This is so wrong. What were their thoughts? What could have possibly been their thoughts? And they would have to work through all of those thoughts, which is normal human reaction to hurting another human being. We do have these thoughts unless you're a complete sociopath and you don't have any emotions. But you still know the difference between right and wrong. Because like I said, you're not going to drive off a cliff, or you're not going to take a hammer and pound your big toe. No, you're smart enough to know that'll hurt. The same way if you pound somebody else's big toe, it will hurt as well. You don't need to be a sociopath or a non-sociopath to figure that out. That's pretty self-explanatory. If I take a hammer and pound my big toe, it'll hurt. I don't have any emotions about it, but I know it'll hurt. That's pain. If I take a hammer and pound Jane Doe's big toe, it'll hurt. It's the same thing. I could lack complete emotions, but I'm going to feel the pain nonetheless. So my point is, they have to work through all of these moralities, all of these rational thoughts, all the empathy, all the sympathy, all the guilt, the shame, the remorse, the second guessing. They have to work through all of it. They have to work, and it could happen in a day, or it could take them months before they become hardened like that. Because you've heard that before. Talk about criminals, and then they're hardened criminals who completely lack empathy. These are at the level where they completely lack empathy. But because I'm looking at what they're doing to us. You see, we're not cardboard cutouts. We're human beings, and we're very vocal, and we're in pain, and we're suffering, and they can see it. And they know that they are causing it, but yet they continue to do this. And not only that, they're laughing because they think it's funny. How much cutting off of human emotions or cutting off of our empathy does it have to take, or do they have to go through to get to that stage? How deep and dark do they have to go? And what level of evil do they have to let into themselves to get to this stage? We're not jewelry that you go in a jewelry store and you smash the window and you take whatever you want, or you grab the jewelry, or you grab the watches, or you grab the gemstones, or you grab the gold. No, they're not going to cry out. They don't really care. They're just inanimate, baubles. You could take them, put them in a bag, bury them under the earth. They don't feel pain. We are human beings. How did they get here? How did they get here? How did they wade through all their normal emotions to get to this stage that they can watch this day after day after day and inflict it day after day after day and be okay with it? How much of themselves did they have to lose in the process? And I mean themselves, because we're not supposed to be doing this. Human beings are not supposed to be hurting each other like this. It's not to say, well, it's a knee-jerk reaction where you shoot somebody, or you punch somebody in the face because you're angry, they pissed you off or whatever. No, this is over a year and a half she's been at this. Over a year and a half. Every single day. How do you do this? But it's like, I would really like to have an explanation for one of them. How do they do this? I want to hear what they have to say. How did you get here? How can you stomach it? You know what? I don't understand. But the thing is, that's one with being said. I forgot the other point I was trying to make, I guess. With the hacking and all the kids are doing it, anybody else can do it too. It's like, But that's the thing. Anybody else can. So it's like government facilities. Anybody can do it. And if they can hack and get people's information, then yes. This is what they're hacking for. They're getting people's information. 10-year-olds are doing. Look, do a search on YouTube. If they can hack anything, they can hack anybody. If they can hack a phone, they can hack the bank manager's phone. They can hack the phone, they can hack his laptop, and they see everything that's in his laptop. It's not that difficult for them to do. So those of you who are gung-ho, is the government behind it. Yes, the government may be behind some of us, but not in every case. It just takes a little bit of flexibility to see what is possible out there. I'm not here to defend or prove anything. I'm just saying this is how a lot of people are getting away with a lot of things. Because everybody blames the government, and people like me and you know that. They'll blame the government. Like I said, the analogy with the banks. They're robbing the banks. I robbed this bank. Who are they going to look for? They're going to look for the people who've been robbing the banks. They're going to think it's the same person. Somebody in there said that the body shape doesn't look right. Something doesn't feel right. No. Or I think I know that. They're going to say no. They're not going to believe them. See my point? They're not going to believe them. Because their belief is that the people who robbed the other banks before, they robbed this one as well. They're not going to believe them. That's like you and me. They're not going to believe them. They get lost in the shuffle. Everybody looking over there when the problem is over here. You see how easy it is to do this, to hide under this white umbrella, because first of all, it's only like maybe 5% of people are being actually heard and taken notice of and have justice being handed out. It's so hard to get someone to actually listen to us in law enforcement to help. I'm just saying, I'm not here to minimize anybody's suffering. I'm just looking at this realistically of what's possible. And even if you want to say it's law enforcement, does it minimize my suffering? No, it doesn't. Does it minimize your suffering, whether it's law enforcement or not? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Stop pointing fingers, nitpicking, and look at the suffering that we're going through. And how do we get justice for it?